Okay, let me share in my what. Oh, I didn't turn off my phone. What? Never mind.
Hey guys, welcome. We are
Hey, we're
back.
live already.
We are live.
Yep. Yes, we are. We can see your E39. No worry.
Yeah.
We know it's
Kon
Kon.
is-
Sorry.
It's okay.
We
No,
know it's Kon E39, so no problem.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I need to close the doors first.
Yeah.
Wait, I focus on.
No problem.
So guys, thanks for joining us. If you're around, just say hi. Tiban is
Hi.
Hey,
here.
Ruben.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us.
Hi. Hi.
So we're talking about
People are coming for this to this session to learn about banking life.
Banking life. Hey, don't tell me about it. I tell you, the past 2 days I've been suffering, man. Banking
What
life.
happened? What happened?
What happened? Oh, a lot lah.
tell us.
In
Okay,
terms-
this is what car guys do lah. Share us
Yeah lah.
your pain to us. Let us know
Okay,
what is your pain.
the pain was because somebody's M3 had an ECU problem, you know.
Mm.
Oh,
So we thought
customer car lah, this one.
well, another dealer lah, you know. So we thought it would be an easy fix lah, you know.
Which M3 is this?
This one 92.
Okay, the V8 lah.
V8 lah, you know. So we thought it was an easy one, but it turned out otherwise lah. So tomorrow the saga continues.
Oh damn! Looking forward to that update.
I think like a lot of people's perception about car buying, and they got Chiang here's nice haircut, Thana, thanks. So a lot of people's perception about repairing cars is like they see TV and they're like, oh, they go in there and suddenly fix and ever got the answer and it's done, you know. It's never the reality, and even among the three of us, I know Mike has got a lot of experience with cars, many cars. Kon again has reviewed many cars and have owned many cars, and also Kon is an engineer background. I've owned many cars, but even more, three of us, all our experiences, there's things still stump us. And I think what we have learned is that logical approach to seeing a problem and seeing through is what kind of saved us, like, you know?
Yes.
You know, it took me 3 years and 2 E39s to really throw up a big surprise for me in BMW ownership.
What is that? Share with us.
Okay, so a few weeks ago, right, I was moving my car, all right, and first thing I noticed was that you know every time when you start your car, you run, there'll be water under the car, right? Aircon, you think it's aircon water. But you know, that time was still during the lockdown, and I was looking under the car. Hey, why got water? I haven't started the car for 2 days. Cannot be got water, what?
Yeah.
Right. So I was like, hey, what the hell is going on? Then I stood up. I looked at the base of my windscreen. Right, I saw the plastic, the wiper arm cover was cracking. So I thought, oh, okay, must be water seeping in through there lah, which is true. That was what happened. So when I opened some of the whatever plastics that I put up, and I saw that underneath the wiper arm cover, I saw that there was water retention underneath. There was water there. So I was like, okay. So whatever I take cloth, I put in, I seal it, wipe as much as I could. So that time during lockdown, can't go anywhere, ma. So I thought, okay lah, I want to embark on a DIY project, change the wiper arm cover. And that is when I learned that there is such a thing as a specialized tool to remove your wiper arms. That was one. All right. And I had and I waited a couple of weeks. I had to order the part from Lazada. Then when I come and I try to turn and pull the thing open, right? Yours is some cheap China punya part, right? The part itself got deformed as I tried to pull the wiper. That was just the small part of the problem. Okay, so I couldn't pull the wiper arm cover out. So the wiper arm cover was stuck. Now then, after that, I saw as I was moving the car, I saw the warning light on the instrument cluster.
Wow.
Transmission fail-safe program. I was like, oh, Kanina, this one kena radio. And you see, the thing is that, right, the water leak is at the part where the transmission control unit is at. The E39, the transmission control unit is like, right where I'm pointing at here, okay? At the passenger side, just behind the suspension strut tower. So if it's a left-hand drive car, it will be on the other side, right? It's at the passenger side, okay, where my hand is pointing at now. But the car that kena is actually the silver one. So it says transmission fail-safe program, and I know that is roughly where the transmission control unit is. So I was like, thinking, don't tell me the water kena the TCU, because I know for a fact that I've been driving the car, the gearbox has been shifting smoothly, so it cannot be a problem with the gearbox. At least not a physical problem. I know that sometimes it could be the what you call it as the control, the gearbox wiring can give issues, right? So I was thinking, right, but okay lah, never mind. Because the transmission on limp mode already, nothing I can do already. So I call tow truck, tow the car to.
This is when?
This was, I think, at least 3-4 weeks ago already lah. By the time
okay.
I featured this in the video recently.
Correct. Remember that.
Yeah. So I towed the car to the workshop, and they did a diagnosis. They actually the workshop did a thorough diagnosis. First thing they checked, nothing wrong with the transmission. There was nothing physically wrong with the transmission, but guess where the problem came from?
I suspect your drainage was stuck on your windshield drainage, and then it overflowed and hit the box.
No. The cause of why the transmission went into limp mode was the ABS module.
Okay.
The ABS module the ABS module feeds wheel speed, because all the electrons of this car are interconnected one. So one of the way the car talks to itself is the ABS module sends wheel speed sensor readings to the transmission. Control unit.
But what's the water got to do with this?
The water actually had nothing to do with it.
see, Kon, you gave us false hope, Kon.
I know. You see, Thana, when I went through the whole process, I gave myself false hope, bro. I thought I counting the water, right? I was like thinking, hallelujah already. But it turns out what happened is that the ABS module was sending wonky wheel speed sensor readings to the transmission control unit. So the transmission control unit got this bunch of jumbled readings. Got panicked, shit itself in its pants, and decided, fuck you, I'm going to limbo. Bye-bye.
You need a VAG in your life. Because any VAG guy, you tell them this one, they're like, this is VAG life lah. Every other.
But still won't put you into limp mode,
Correct.
You still can drive as normal. Only no ABS.
Every other VAG car will have this. And ABS will fail.
No, not all.
And the transmission, and you know what happens in transmission limp mode, right? The transmission locks itself on fourth gear. Right? I tell you, the challenge of driving up the flatbed on fourth gear, wow. the throttle control was like, I have to really step on it, but you're scared you step too much on it. Because normally you go up the ramp on first gear, slowly inch your way up, but that one I have to do it in fourth gear, means I have to pull high RPMs to push the car up.
Yes.
I mean, this is a good case study actually,
Very good case study. This is really the first time I encountered an issue that on either of these cars that I have never heard of before.
Yeah.
But even then, after further reading, I discovered that I was not the first one to find it.
It's common. I mean, like VG cars, like not say every car, but it's very common for when you got like ABS error or it's cluster error. It's linked to the speed sensor. It's very common.
Yeah, I know it's the wheel speeds. The wheel speed sensor reading, right? But you wouldn't expect that to cause your transmission to say, hey, okay, I'm hands off, you're on your.
You got to remember your 39 came from the time it was one of those first cars that have traction control now.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's another story altogether.
Correct. So when one of the wheel speed sensor don't give you a reading,
then
the flat turn off. limb fail already, So this one I give you fourth gear only, limb mode. You still can go home lah.
No, but you see, the thing is that the cause and effect, it's like totally you won't piece it like that way,
Correct.
Not at least not without putting your car on the OBD and diagnosing it and all.
Yeah, did your ABS light come on?
It did. It has been. It was coming out for a while, but I would not have expected, ABS light to tell my transmission to shut up.
Yeah, you were ignoring that signal lah.
No, I got that signal. So the last time I serviced the car before this, I already asked my mechanic, is this one, is it okay or not? So he said it's okay one, you just drive only. So he tell me it's a wheel speed sensor reading, but we changed the wheel speed sensor. At least the workshop I went to, they installed a different wheel speed sensor. Error code is still there, so that ruled out the wheel speed sensor as a culprit. The fault really was in the control module.
Yeah, the ABS itself. The control module.
Yeah.
Which is integrated, with the pump.
Yeah, and the E39 facelift 6 cylinders, right? Like mine here with the M54 engine, the catalytic converter is in the engine bay. The pre-facelift one, the catalytic converters are situated further back. So the engine bays are cooler. In my one, the engine bay runs hotter, so it adds more. It puts more heat inside the engine bay, and it affects the lifespan of the control module.
Correct. Yeah.
I think
people can't stop asking me about the Grand Cabrio.
I'll come to the story of the Maserati later on the show. But I guess few takeaways from what you said before. So one was you need to understand what is a mechanical failure, like what Mike said, and what is a electronic failure. So I think the first thing is that all modern cars will tell you, hey, there's an error. And I think when there's an error is there, you got to almost stop and think about, okay, is there anything that is severely off? Am I having overheating issues? Am I? And then if nothing is throwing off sensor-wise, then the next step is thinking about the car physically. Is there anything shaking or not? Is it shaking? You feel it's vibrating. If like Kon says, like he was driving the car is fine, so he knew in his head that mechanically the car is fine. Something was throwing off a limb mode. Okay.
Correct.
Then the next thing was
I thought it was because of water leaking.
Correct. And then Kon also said it went to fourth gear. Okay. Now a lot of people don't understand this, but I learned from Mike, so when we do, Mike does road dyno to tune the cars to see the dyno. They do on fourth gear, and one of the reasons was because I noticed that the fourth gear is the closest gear on the 1-to-1 ratio with the engine. Is that right, Mike?
Yep.
Yes.
Correct. Yes.
So it's the gear that the car is not where there is least amount of stress on the gear, and the car can enough to get back home, So it goes to fourth gear.
Yes. Depend on the car. Some is third gear.
It really depends on the ratio.
High gearing cars, like the Passat and all that is third gear.
So you really have to kind of stop and think and then come to the point. So guys, today we're talking about car repairs. If you have any questions, please ask away. We'll feature you in the comments here, and we'll go through them right now.
Actually, the important lesson I learned when it comes to maintaining these cars is always be alert, but don't panic.
Yes.
What I learned is have a second car.
And one more thing is one more thing I noticed also, but because in my family, I'm the car guy, all the extended family and all that. So when there's a light that blinks in the speedometer, people will call me, hey, Kodo Chok Tang, red light, so still can drive the car. Ask him which light up. Oh, I don't know. I got one light up. Then they send me a photo. It's just the light bulb thing. So a lot of people don't actually read the manual.
I mean, few things you should know as car owners. Like if you own a VG car, if it's a gearbox issue, like one of the Audi A6 member yesterday, he called me up. It was at 11 o'clock at midnight. 11 o'clock midnight, he sent someone to a hospital, and then coming back, the car went to limb mode. The gearbox just went to limb mode. He didn't want to change gear, and he went to sport mode. Couldn't change nothing. It just froze. And then I said, so my thought again to him was, this was yesterday. Can the car drive? He said, can drive. Can the car jerking? No jerking. Everything is fine. But can't engage gear. I said, try to reset the TCU. And VAG car, there's a way to reset. You basically will call you off and you on the car. Don't start the car. So basically, if it's a stop car, you basically you're off the car. Take out your leg from the brakes. Press on. Car will come into ignition. Then you press the brake for 15 seconds, right? 15 seconds. And then you let go, and then it will reset the ECU.
I think it's the
throttle. Correct. Press throttle for 15 seconds, and you let go and reset. And fair enough, he did that, and the car's PCU reset, and he could go back home. The car till today is fine. No issue. So all these small things for your car, you got to know. BMW got its own tweak.
But the thing is that your friend investigate what caused his car to go into limb mode.
Well, he just went, and he was in the middle of the night. I told him to do this, and he did that. And till now, no issue. Car totally fine. So sometimes it just happens.
I mean, if I connect this kind of thing, first thing I'll ask is, how do I solve? All right. The next question is, I want to investigate what caused it.
Correct.
Is it something serious? Or is it a one-off thing? Right. At least the next time when I drive the car, I can keep in the back of my mind, this is something that can be triggered by such and such causes.
I mean,
I think he should actually take it to a good mechanic and actually diagnose the car, and see what actually caused that.
Yeah, and the good thing about cars like the VAG cars is that the analog is there. You'll normally see there is a corresponding entry at a particular time when this happened. There'll be something else happening in the car, and you can correlate. Oh, you know what? This happened, and this happened, or temperature went up, and this happened. There's always a correlation, So modern cars are fantastic because the log is there; it's always there, and you can go back and investigate. I mean, something to invest is for example, I have this thing over here. This is a OBD11. If you got a VG car, it's very. It's about $500 from I think Netherlands or Italy. You buy this, and it's fantastic because if you got a VG car, you plug this in. It's so comprehensive what this can do that normal OBD can't do. There's some OBDs that are cheap, you can do it, but not to the extent of this kind of VCDS and this kind of stuff, And for BMWs, there are also specialized tools, really meant for BMWs, which work fantastically well, But invest in this kind of stuff, and you won't lose.
Kali at BMW.
Correct. Kali for BMW is fantastic, right?
Yes. So always investigate, and also do some, I think on cars, sometimes we just do maintenance rather than doing preventive maintenance.
Jay says, my experience with cars similar to women. You think you have all the answers, but there's something new to learn every day. Lessons, you will never have all the answers. First time trying.
Absolutely.
The important thing actually, right, is to have a good support group. Because now we have now with social media, there is for any car, right, you can definitely find a WhatsApp group. You can find a Facebook group. I mean, reasonably popular car, right? I don't know if there's a Maserati Grand Cabrio WhatsApp group out there or not,
I'm sure there is.
Once you go in there, there should be a group there, Maserati.
I think it's a Maserati group, not a
Maserati.
Maserati, Gran Turismo, Gran Coupe, all the Grand Maserati Grand Coupe groups.
Maybe it's a Maserati V8 group,
There you go. Sure got one. Facebook group. All right. What you should look for are the global Facebook groups, the local Facebook groups, and the local WhatsApp groups.
Yes. Sometimes I find it quite funny, some of these WhatsApp group and some of the Facebook groups, and the BMW E92 ones, I find it really damn nasty, a lot of them inside there.
Really?
Yeah, people ask some questions. Some of them really taro them upside down. Yeah.
I mean, CK80 has a question, has a comment actually. Want to buy Merc, BMW or BMW, but hate going to SC or workshop, hate the hassle. I mean, and I think my answer to that is that you have to, it's like, you can't avoid, you can't avoid the ownership experience of rental cars because
Yeah.
of these issues. But once you buy one, then you feel
Yep.
like, Alama, I can drive any car, it's not as big as what people make it out to seem, it's
Yeah. And you see, the thing is that I think that for me, the whole journey of buying and owning an old BMW, right, has taught me a lot on regarding to troubleshooting, with regards to further to more deeply analyze what can and cannot go wrong with the car, all right, how things work in the car. And
Yep.
there's no doubt about it. If you're not the kind of person who enjoys the process, this is a hassle, because
Yes.
make no mistake about it, whether you are fixing the car yourself or you're sending the car to a workshop, all these things are consume one very precious resource. It's called time.
Yep.
Right? And we are all very busy people. And if, let's say, like, your car suddenly throws up a fault code, you'd be like, "Ayo, I have to take time off to go and sort this."
Yep.
And then you look at your schedule, it's like, what, 101 things that are waiting there for you to do. So there's no doubts about it. These are time-consuming things, right? That not everybody has appetite for.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Sean Tan says, where do you buy the devices? So there are a few grades. So obviously, if you want something that's very generic, I think Bobby also shared one video. You can go check out Bobby's video. There are devices which are on the cheaper end, which are more generic for a lot of cars. They work perfectly fine for basic diagnostics. But if you want to get to more specialized tools, these are really specialized tools, and because they invest a lot of R&D in it, it's different. So, like I said, what I call again, I'm not paid or sponsored by anything else over here. OBD11.com, you can go there. These are guys from Europe. It's a Europe-based company. They are not cheap. They're not cheap, and they're not cheap because for a reason. They're actually quite good. Kali is the one for BMW. You can go check out Kali.com and buy them. Again, they're not cheap devices, but they're really worth the money. It's like and also things like programming your car for. You shouldn't do this like in VAG cars. You cannot have the TV, have the monitor on while driving. You can actually disable that feature. They call it video in motion. You can do the device.
I don't advise that, by the way.
Yeah, I'm just saying because some the kids
I know you can. I wouldn't encourage it.
Or like you can change like your blinker lights to do something, or you can change for example the needle sweep. All of things you can modify to the car itself on VAG, and same with Kali. You can go and modify a lot of things you can do in your car. But I found those are very good tools,
And you can actually activate a lot of hidden features inside the car.
Yeah, correct.
You see features that you were too cheapskate to pay for. All right.
Yep.
But so it's like, okay, you don't pay, right? You don't get used. But at the same time, for the manufacturer, it's too expensive to create a deviation to not have that thing in there. So what they do is they just build everything in there. You don't pay. I off for you.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You'd be surprised. You're surprised what you can actually get for free if you buy the device. Activate the features and fantastic,
You know what I recently learned? I learned some years ago, something very, very surprising. Remember the Proton Inspira?
Yep.
Inspira.
Okay. The Inspira, according to a good friend, it has adjustable headlamp one. It has the headlamp level adjustment motor.
Okay.
It has the headlamp adjustment motor, but they omitted the switch.
Oh.
They omit the switch, so you cannot use it.
Okay.
So can you actually retrofit the switch?
If you can source for the switch,
Yeah.
And I think I suspect the wiring is there also. You just get the switch.
So it's always there. Daniel Hamza has a question. Yeah. So my friend just bought a 520D diesel 215 running 75,000 kilometers. What part may probably be need to replace to ensure the car is still reliable? And first of all, it's diesel, very reliable.
Very reliable.
Mike, you've
I
seen
don't
one of
know
these cars,
is it
right?
the B47 or N47 engine or not.
I think this one is the N. I think it's the
N47
N.
still, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the N. I
Yeah.
think that because the B one, that one only came in at 2016 only, I think.
Yes,
Small
yes,
batch.
yes. You're right. You're right.
A
You're
very
right.
small batch. I think about 150 cars or something like that. Very
Yeah,
rare.
I
he
see.
said it's B47, correct.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow,
B47.
you got a gem, man.
Yeah, got a jam. So there's only about, I think, 150 cars that was in the
Oh, really?
marketplace.
That's
Yeah,
you.
yeah, very few.
In
150
the
or
world,
250 or something like that. No, in Malaysia.
Malaysia, okay.
It was the last batch.
Uh,
A fantastic engine. This one actually very strong and very powerful also. This one, we would recommend that you do carbon cleaning, for the intake. And if you can do a EGR delete, so the exhaust gases don't get flow back inside your intake again.
Question about eject delete, Mike. I mean,
Yes,
I did eject
yes.
on my truck, and I think when I did for my diesel truck, when we did the stage one tuning for my Ford Everest,
Yep.
I took out the eject delete on your advice, and to me it was more like if I keep it there, it's going to get stuck, and then must clean again and do again, But
Yes.
but what is the concept? I mean, like taking out or taking in? There's also pros and cons of doing both. People are saying yes or no.
They did it more for emission controls, back in this day. Because what happens is that in order to maintain a certain CO output, right? So they divert the air back into your engine.
Correct. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yes.
But I guess if that gets
engine faster,
but I guess if it gets stuck, the pathway if it gets stuck, what is the repercussion if it gets stuck?
Lose power.
Lose power because of the vacuum loss, is it?
Yes. Because when you are on boost, it's supposed to close, and then you are diverting the exhaust gases back inside your engine, so you lose power. And another thing also, it will have a fault code in your engine to say that it's stuck or the EGR is spoiled in itself. In fact,
I guess
the earlier cars, we get a lot of EGR that is stuck.
I guess EGR, there's a few EGR, right? One a very manual EGR, one a very like high-end EGR with flaps and all that stuff, is it?
Yeah, with flaps and then with a cooler as well, with the BMWs.
I see.
The cooler built in as well. So there can leak coolant and at the same time can get stuck also, the EGR itself. So it causes issue and that part is not cheap. I think cost alone is close to 4,000 ringgit.
Yeah. Diesel parts are not cheap. I've learned that the hard way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because remember
they're
that diesel engines, right, run at much higher stresses than petrol.
Yeah.
Much higher internal stress than petrol due to the high compression.
Yeah, very, very high compression ratio.
Yeah.
ZQ Tan made a comment against your Inspira comment.
Hey, thanks for the clarification, bro.
Yeah, they had it's built in. Just add the switch, and then you know what? But the later models, they're not wiring. One of my friend, I think just selling one Inspira with an Evo 10 mod. He actually put an Evo 10 engine and all that stuff all together.
Wow.
So I'm thinking like, wow, like crazy, man. Crazy car. Back on the BMW bandwagon, E90 320D, still a good buy?
It's not a bad buy.
Yep.
I guess why would you buy? I mean, if you were buying a E90, buying a diesel against a petrol, if you don't have to do the mileage, you don't have to do the coverage of kilometers, would you consider a diesel?
Well, the thing is that I would consider a diesel, but not the E90. Reason being is that the last time I test drove an E90 diesel, the E90 diesel in Malaysia came with the M Sport suspension, and it rides very, very harshly. Yeah. So my pick for the E90 actually would be the 323.
The 323, The 323 doesn't ride as hard for some
The
reason.
323 has a nice balance to it. Yes, it's not
Yes,
as
yes.
powerful as the 325, but
Yep.
it's still a decently equipped car. You get
Yes,
comfort
yes.
access, you get reverse camera. In fact, it was better spec than the F30 328i, in some respects. The only thing was that, you get a detuned engine, but the suspension setup is a lot better balanced compared to the M Sport cars, I think.
Yeah. I mean that era, the M Sport cars really ride very badly, actually. With the run flats,
Oh.
it's boom, really thumping through
Yeah,
all the
I
potholes and all
I
that. Very
remember
bad.
just driving the E90 320D. Wow, powertrain was good, but the ride was very, very harsh.
Yeah, but that one can be fixed lah. Yeah,
Can be
can
tuned
be
lah.
fixed.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, can be fixed. Yeah.
Sean has a question again on the sensor. So I came across OBD2 Ansel VD100, few hundred ringgit for VW cars worth invest. This is more, I think, generic. It's meant for more cars, like, I think
Yep.
mechanics use them because I think for mechanics, you buy that, you can cover more cars. You get like 80% of the way. It's good enough, But I think a mechanic which is more general, they got a lot of cars. For them, the investment is different. They want a car leader to read a lot of cars.
Yes.
But if you own a VW cars and it's only for your car, you want something that does 100% of the things. 100% coverage is only two VCDS and OBD11 for consumer grade. For consumer only two only. VCDS and OBD11. VCDS is wired. I think now they got wireless, but also expensive. OBD11 is the better, cheaper option, So I would say no. If you have a VW car and you're serious about VW, please buy the OBD11. Trust me, it's so good.
Yeah, I think the VCDS also is running about 3K now with the exchange rate.
3K. So one is and the VCDS is more for is consumer /
professional
professional grade, and that one is a bit costly. Yes. The only one for VW cars I recommend is OB11. Nothing else. Skip this.
VCDS you can do a lot of codings lah.
Yeah, and also be a bit scary lah.
Workshop tools already.
It's a workshop tool, but it's a bit scary for newcomers. I would say stick to something like OB11. This one works well. It's one time you invest and you're done, But you got to buy from Europe and ship it here. Wait for it, And then, hey guys, this one is K. Nice face, man. You look. I love to see your face smiling and happy. Good to see your picture. Hey guys, amazing sharing as always. Want to ask, is it real or myth? 2018 BMW 3OE will dent pockets due to hybrid battery. Will there be a lot of issues managing hybrid cars?
Luck.
I mean, luck
do
is
you
true.
Feel lucky?
But T3OE is an 8-year warranty on the battery.
Yeah.
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah. And the 330E, right? This is when did they launch it? 2017, 2018? No, cannot be 2018.
2016. I think.
2016. Yeah.
16.
5 years in the market already.
15 at the start, right?
So there are third-party workshops out there that have already developed the know-how to help you do battery swaps at a much lower price than authorized workshops. So like the workshop that I sent my E39 to recently, Munich Precision in PJ, they told me okay, I can't say from vouch for experience, but they told me that they have the expertise to open up the hybrid battery, the BMW hybrid battery, and replace the individual cells. So it still wouldn't be cheap, but it would be as expensive as changing the whole thing. But in any case, I distinctly remember BMW themselves, the official dealerships, also are able to individually replace the cells if you have to.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is,
I think there are 7 cells there. I think.
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact number. Yeah.
I mean, if it's a 2018 the 3T, first of all, there is 8-year warranty on the car. So 225 warranty is there. Secondly, what I call from a I think liability point of view, so I actually follow the WhatsApp, follow the FB group. So it's a good way is to follow the FB group for the class, and then you'll know how often this is. I find the A6 has got more horror stories than the BMW. The BMW actually is quite reliable, you know.
Yeah.
And all the claims people repairing battery outside is, I mean, I question it lah, because why? It's under warranty. What? It's under warranty. Why are mechanic shops out there repairing it?
True.
Correct. Okay. So don't take it for hearsay what people say, like, you know, because why? All of them are actually people trying to hype up and say things which they don't know anything about. You know, and if you want to go to and follow the and not me, I'm talking about owners, Facebook group, go there and look at it, and you'll be surprised. Actually, it's not bad, you know. But there are issues. There are issues like small things.
Actually, on the topic of the battery warranty, all right, the 8-year warranty. 8-year warranty applies only to the battery. The rest of the car has a 7-year warranty. But the thing is that all the 330Es in Malaysia are local cars. They would have been official cars, not grey imports. So the thing is that if you are looking at one of these, go and check with the official dealerships. You know, you can bring the chassis number of the car, or you can tell the seller to the key of the car. Say, I want to know what is the warranty coverage left on this car.
Yeah. In fact, tomorrow I'm going to see. I'm going to BMW.
I heard.
Premium selection, just to look at the. I heard. TOE, the very same car, you know. So and because you'll be surprised that if you think about this, the other way of looking at this is this line, okay?
Yeah.
A 330i and a 330e, the same year, the price differences is quite a lot, quite significant, you know.
Yeah.
So, and if you say, look here, I've saved more than the money I will pay for the battery. And that's for me.
I just want to ask you. I just want to ask you a very important question. How did we come from Grand Cabrio to 330e?
No, this is for the wife. This is for the wife. For the wife, not for me.
Oh, for the wife.
For the wife.
But this one is the pasaka, is it? As you say.
Yeah, I mean, I need a pasaka. So we are selling
not
the
bad,
Almira.
Not bad.
So it's a
makes sense. It makes sense.
It's a bargain. It's very powerful. It's full specs. If you get at a good enough, I think, discount, you know what? And if you enjoy it, I think the biggest thing is if you enjoy it, you know what? You love it, because why? The thrill on a hybrid is like none other. You know, you drive the 330e and you drive the 320, and you're like, oh my god, I want that hybrid lah, because the power is just so instantaneous. You know, it's just different. Nice. KY Gun. Wow, today we're on a roll. We're on a roll for BMW today. All question of BMW. What's your experience with carbon buildup on B48 Beamer engine? It got me, and what recommended mileage? They shouldn't be, right?
I think most of the B48s in the market are still quite low mileage.
But B48, is it? It's port and direct.
No, KY here drives a G30.
Yeah, G30.
G30 530i. In addition to another very, very epic BMW.
I think the carbon build-up. I
don't think it differs.
No experience, no experience.
But Mike, generally, right? What engine age does carbon build-up becomes?
I think it also depends how the car is driven also. I mean, my experience with the older cars, you know, it depends anything from 60,000 to 100,000. It depends whether the car is highway driven or whether it's a city car, and how the owner drives it and what fuel they use also.
And also, I think how much idling does the car undergo. So if let's say, like, for example, if the car always, like, you know, say go and wait for kids to pick up kids at school, right? The car just sit there, gone lah. The car probably will be low mileage, but it has accumulated a lot of cycles.
Yes. And I think, you know, the intake doesn't have all the pressure to actually push the oil residue you know, into the combustion chamber. so it sticks at the intake valves.
Yeah.
I think for 27,000 kilometer mileage, I think it's very low, lah.
Yeah.
I've seen intervals on older engines, like a VW E88 Gen 2 engines. Even at 50,000 mileage or 8,000 mileage, what we call the carbon monoxide is very, very little. Normally at 80k, 70k, when you do your gearbox, I think link it back to your gearbox service. When you do your gearbox service, do your carbon decoupling. I think it's kind of
okay. KY just added this comment. It's the dedicated bus scholar. So yeah, lots of idols. Wow, your kids live a good life, huh?
Good life,
Not bad. 530i.
But KY, it's quite easy to undo that build up. Just do a nice drive on a weekend. You throttle it, and everything is cleared. Put some.
As Brandon Lim recommends.
Exactly. You just be surprised what you can get,
Yeah, KY gun, just take it to the highway behind your backyard.
Come. This weekend you can pass to me. I do free decarboning. Pass the car to us.
Free Italian tune-up.
Yep.
Yeah, the car will drive better after you get it back.
Zafri question. I just did a carbon clean and changed spark plugs based on Mike's advice of running dyno. It was very clean. Found the plugs were clogged with carbon deposit. Thanks for the tip, Mike. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised, lah.
Yeah, sometimes we forget that we the last time you change your spark plugs, especially spark plugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea to change them every 50 to 60,000 kilometers, spark plugs. Even though the manufacturer tell you it's 100,000. And another thing is that a lot of KL cars actually our idling time is a lot.
Yes.
Every
especially
day.
Especially those that work 9 to 5 jobs.
Yes. Yes. Every day is 60 minutes to 90 minutes in traffic.
Correct.
Yeah.
Very still. Very still.
Yeah.
I mean, I think one day when they export cars from Malaysia outside overseas, they say, Malaysia car high traffic lah. Traffic car, that's why shouldn't buy Malaysia car.
I think if they put the number of hours inside, that can clock the number of hours.
Actually, they got, isn't it?
Porsches have. Porsches. In the Porsche ECU, you can actually see how many hours the car has been driven.
I mean, even the Audi has hours, but you can reset. Is it? Because you can reset and goes away. There is a drive time. There is a drive time.
I can't remember but in one of my tools, I can now see the actual mileage the car has gone through from the ECU.
Okay.
There was a few Mark 7s I've seen. What's in the ECU and what is on the clock is different.
Full car, Ken says at least don't need to change spark plugs on a diesel. Yes, but also got glow plug lah, got injector lah. It's a whole different ball game.
New diesel cars don't have lah, right?
Pardon?
New diesel cars don't have glow plugs, right?
Mine got lah, my truck got lah.
Depends on the models lah.
How's your injectors, Thana? Fixed already.
So my injector, my story was so actually my car was running fine, no issue. It's running smooth, no issue. Just that I hear like got sound. So went to the mechanic and then open up and see was still the injector, how the injector actually goes inside. And so now you got your top. This is so vulgar. You got your top valve cover. The injector goes inside, goes through that and goes to the head and then goes to the combustion chamber. So it really goes through the whole thing. Now what happens is there's two seals. One seal at the combustion area, and one seal is so vulgar again. One seal at the top valve gasket there. The top valve gasket can give way. So when the pressure builds up, kind of spews out like oil, engine oil, So the car's fine.
But the diesel is coming out.
not diesel. No, not the diesel. The engine oil from the top half of the car.
So your valve cover gasket lah.
Correct. No, but this is gasket outside. This is the inside one, like the injector. So the car is fine, except it looks a bit messy, So I said, okay lah, let's just fix this. He opened up the injector, and 1, 2, 3, okay. The fourth one was stuck. He took hydraulic press and this and that. He took hammer. He took 2 days because the injector was stuck because it's like basically a copper washer with a rubber. It was stuck.
Yep.
After 2 days, finally came out. Okay, came out. So the injectors, and then the injector. Another story. Then so by taking it out, the whole valve cover got bent, got marks and all that stuff. So we had to weld back the valve cover gasket where we had to damage it to kind of pry open, so that's out. And now the bottom part of the head now injector is it's also like a mark. So they try to take out and basically there's another mark, so they got to take out again the head now. But the thing was, the car was running fine, but trying to do preventive maintenance, I managed to destroy the head as well as the valve cover cassette. Got to go and do machining and welding, and so yeah, purely preventive maintenance. Okay, so the car fine now, fine, totally fine car. The best part was because it was out already. He said, "Hey, the injector out, why not buy new injector?" So guess how much is the injector on a Ford Everest? Brand new, Kon knows about this, is 8,000 ringgit, 8,800 ringgit from Ford. Injectors, okay?
Wow.
The same injector from a part shop is 5,700 ringgit. Okay?
Wow.
Now, the same injector, OEM from China, because they got the same injector used in a few cars, is 2,400 ringgit. It gets cheaper, right? Okay?
Yeah.
The same injector, and injectors for diesel actually rarely fail, okay? Because they usually be fine. It only happens because why you put cheap diesel inside in Malaysia, obviously, until now got cheap diesel. And then, and it kind of blocks out, all injectors for diesel can be serviced. They've got a service kit because in the injector itself, there's a ball bearing, there's a copper washer, there is a nozzle, and it regulates how much thing comes out, and the service kit is there. The service kit you can buy a few $100 you can buy and repair it, So I went through all the exercise. Finally, I found out where Ford itself, I found out where Ford itself sends the diesel injectors for servicing. So I went to a place and said, Ford used to come to us and this. So these are the main guys where Ford goes to, and I managed to do the entire injector service and tune up and clean up for, drum roll, 600 ringgit. And the best part was, he said, I serviced it, but your injector was fine to begin with. So the mechanic wanted to change because it's already out. Why not we change it? It's more of that. But went to the shop. This guy's called Asang Diesel in Singapore. You can go check him out on Waze, whatever. And they actually calibrate. They check the flow rate, and they say this is to the spec. You know what? It's perfect. You can use it, no issue. They said, you want to change the copper washer or not? It's extra 50 ringgit for safety, and I did that. So 50 ringgit per washer, I did that. So 600 ringgit, I have a injector which is tested, tuned, everything is fine, perfectly brilliant to go back in the car. But the story was, my injector was fine. The story is, my injector was fine. There's nothing wrong with the injector. It was just
Thana, you have never, but nevertheless, you have never been happier spending $600, right?
But the best part is, do you know how much is the fail part? The part which failed, the washer.
Yeah.
The washer cost 35 ringgit.
Yeah.
For 35 ringgit now, I've gone through. I managed to scratch up the valve gasket, the head, this and that. I bought gaskets. I'm doing both the top half and the bottom half gasket. All this because that. And my lesson I've learned, I'm trying to get everybody is, please, diesel car owners, every 80,000, tell a mechanic, can you just open the injector and put that inside? Because if you open up inside and put new washer, it helps to lubricate. The washer is very cheap. Put it back inside. It'll save you a lot of hassle.
So just open and put back. The washer, you just...
No, the washer, once you open back, washer change back, washer is about 30 ringgit a washer,
Change the washer,
Yeah, take out and put new washer and put it inside. You know what? At least it comes out easily. While taking it out, you see the injector, you inspect visually. Oh, injector, okay. The injector that's going to fail, you can see there's a black carbon buildup on the top there. So just going in, like a plug, you can go and inspect, this injector got issue. Better go send for servicing, So every 8,000 kilometers, you know what? Do it. I've learned that the hard way. But again, my intent was fine to begin with, like, but do it. And the best part is, my friends who have other diesel trucks, have gone the route of rebuilding their injectors, and rebuilding injectors is 2,000 ringgit.
Yeah.
And yeah, so something new I learned, because I got on the path. Better yet, another story was, so I'm getting this story on diesel. Another story was, my 4x4. So all 4x4s have got a motor for the gearbox to shift your gears into 4x4. So basically, a 4L, a 4L, 4 high, and then people drive, isn't it? So old Prado, whatever, you go down and you turn the knob on the wheel hub, and then it locks into 4x4, correct?
Correct.
But most modern 4x4s, you press a button on the dashboard. There's a motor down there, motor like a solenoid. Yes, change, and I help you to change the gear only. So it's a device that's like a motor sitting outside the gearbox below. Okay, that's it. Okay, now story of the century, Kon. This motor at Ford, guess how much is the price?
I cannot afford it.
5.
No, it was 2,400 ringgit for the motor.
Oh,
And
wow.
the best part was,
Okay.
few of the guys that I know in the Ford ownership experience have changed this system. I say, common because I never use my four-wheel drive. The day I want to use it, it just jams up. Because why I never use it? Some people they do is they take a hammer and knock it. It like a starter, it loosen up and you can use it, So if you own a 4x4 and do this for a 4x4 function, the motor can seize up, basically. That's the story, So anyway, again, being me, I cannot be 2,000 odd ringgit for a motor down there. I cannot accept. I don't want to pay the money. I don't accept. So I went online. I check part number. There must be a truck out there with the same part number. I found out Great Wall. You know the Great Wall truck?
Yep.
Shares the same motor as this Ford part. Same motor.
Because they use the same transmission, is it?
Yeah, exactly. Same gearbox. Because the same gearbox, it's the same motor. So guess how much is it to buy from China? It's original part from China. It's I think about $600 lah. I said, okay, can I do better or not? So I went and checked because China got OEM. The OEM part was, drum roll please, 180 ringgit. and I bought through Shopee.
Can work or not one day?
Wait, delivered in 1 week. I go off-road every other month. No issue, Kon. No problem.
Hey, okay, Thana, this I have to respect you. You, Indian fella, go and shop for China parts. That's damn amazing, man.
No, some parts, it's fine. I mean, like say China parts you buy or not. Like these are external parts, This is outside gearbox. It's totally fine, Certain parts like cosmetic stuff, totally fine,
Yeah, cosmetics, no issue.
But like example, like for example, on the Audi, the windshield washer wiper, you think, this is a small thing and buy China. Do not buy from China. I know it's like 30 ringgit versus 200 odd ringgit original. The China part doesn't work. You have to pay the 200 odd ringgit for the windshield washer for the Audi. It just is some parts doesn't work. But a tenth of the price, Kon. Can you imagine a tenth the price? I love that part. J Dennis. I got a 323 all BMW. 323i E90 earlier this year. After one of the recommendations, tried the 325 and 320. Both can compare with 323. Comfortable, powerful. Have easy mic for 322. Please do come and visit us.
Okay, here's the tip.
A couple of years.
The best time is now.
Now, bro.
If you can visit Thana also can.
Exactly.
Correct.
Come and contact us.
Here's a tip.
Okay,
when you're shopping for an E90, just skip the 320i. It's not. Yeah, don't. I mean, it's not as reliable and not as powerful. And today, in the used car market, buying a 320i versus a 6-cylinder, right? The price difference is like next to not there, and so there's no reason to not have a 6-cylinder model if you're buying an E90.
Especially it's a BMW 6-cylinder.
Yeah.
Go for
yes.
it. Yes.
Matthew said, I went for 323i instead of 325i. Kevin Chu says, thanks, Thana. When you advise another viewer that the timing chain issue on N20 not a deal breaker, bought a T28 F30 where the power I changed everything last year, including timing chain. Awesome, right? Exactly,
Correct.
Yeah, make sure it's the guide, because it's not the chain that fails, it's the plastic guide.
But the chain can also extend. So what they do is
okay.
The stretch lah, so that they do the chain, do the timing guide, everything is done for. So this is a good deal, fantastic. Nothing to worry about, and it's quite easy to check also. Every other year, just go and tell the mechanic, open up and check whether it's in tolerance or not.
When you start the car, you can hear it lah.
It's a well-known problem. Well-known problem, and it's one with ample warnings. So it's not like something that catches you by surprise.
I mean, Kevin, to the point, I think people shy away from it. People say, "Oh, buy the newer one" or whatever. But you know what? The N30 engine, it's a bargain. It is such a bargain today for what it delivers. You know what? Fantastic. A bit of maintenance on this timing chain, all that stuff. But other than that, such a bargain. If you're scared, if you said, "Oh, it doesn't look as nice as the facelift," you know what? I found out that F30 lights, the facelift on, isn't that expensive. No, it's actually quite cheap because it's so much.
Is it interchangeable? Sometimes when they facelift, right, the wiring changes one.
No, but the aftermarket kit is meant for that. It's meant to. So what I'm saying is the aftermarket kits. Because the F30 is so popular, I was shocked how cheap it's like I think like within 2K. I think within 2K, 2 plus whatever. It's when compared to like Audi prices, it's so cheap for a headlight, brand new headlights.
BMW and Audi is
because the volume of cars out there.
Definitely.
Such a popular model.
But this is just the headlight only, right? The tail light you cannot convert, right? Can you?
I don't know.
Because let me tell you a story. For E39, right, the facelift and pre-facelift tail lights they are not the opening is not physically the same one.
Correct.
You want to
correct. Even the Asus corner, I think all the cars, the manufacturers, they purposely do this, They make it a little bit different so that you don't buy and replace. But
correct.
What you don't understand is there's always the aftermarket product.
Of course.
Meant for this.
For many years, Hella was selling at least for E39 and I'm sure they do it for other BMW also. The facelift conversion kit where you can change the lights and all. But on the E39, it's not just wiring work. It also involves body work. You actually have to hammer the body panel and cut certain parts of the metal so that the light will go in.
No, but that's what I'm saying, Kon. Like on newer cars, they have a for example, Audi A6, the C7, the pre-facelift and post-facelift, the lights are actually different size.
Correct.
So it's a bit different. So, but they have the pre-facelift sizing, looks like the facelift one. It's available and it's totally works fine and do that. Simulation doing it also now.
That one is memang built for people who want to change the
retrofit.
It's not meant for the post-facelift. So, question here from Kim.
This is a good question.
Can ask what is recommended car for a first-time driving experience for a 17 to 18-year-old? Getting my son, excellent father. I applaud you. My father never buy me a car. Would it be better to get a new one like Perdua or second-hand? And second-hand should skip Continental and go for spare part easy replacement.
Firstly, buy cars for your kids. Never buy new.
Thank you, Kon. Excellent idea.
I
totally agree.
Buy something used, cheap ass. That especially if it's a son and not a daughter, buy something that you don't have to worry about depreciation. If it crashes the car, I was like, okay, crash lot. No, that's the least thing you worry about. Then, but of course, it depends, right? Put the responsibility on him to manage the maintenance of the car. All right, you may or may not pay for it, but he has to take the responsibility of servicing the car. And you can work out arrangement whether he claimed the bill for it or not, but he has to take the responsibility of servicing the car, send to workshop, talk to the mechanic and all that. So that will be really up to you, because you are the one footing the bill, right? You can dictate to him what he has to drive.
I mean, I will say this, like, I mean, Kim Ming Wong,
Yeah.
I mean, you're buying for a son a car, you know, and obviously the budget not an issue. If you can buy new car or used car. One thing that I think as a parent, I'm afraid is how do I teach my children grit, grit?
Yeah.
How do I teach my kids
Even Salah teach green can already.
the value of what they call to understand a bit of hardship, and it's hard because why? When we can afford it, we can afford to give them the best things. How to teach hardship, and that's why I think like when Mike bought a whole French car for his son, and he's enjoying this, and he's learning about the car as go along, you know.
Yeah.
And if you think about even a step further, I say like even buy a manual. You know why? Because moment someone drives the first car as a manual, I trust me, they're a better driver because they can control the car's speed, modulation, engine, rev, you know, all the accident that happens nowadays. People who cannot, they panic and they floor the car because they cannot control themselves, you know. So in fact, I would say get him a manual, whether Conti car or not, you know what, not issue, but
Doesn't
he
matter.
must,
That's
that's a separate issue. Spare part also not matter, doesn't matter because I think all cars in the last 10 years are quite reliable. 2 or 10 onwards, I think the cars are quite reliable. It's more what you can embark on it, because I think as a parent, if you are a VW guy, buy him a VW. If you are a Mazda guy, buy him that, because why? This is the time when the kids will listen to you. The kids will link with you, and the kid will.
Anna, you forgot what it's like to be a 17-year-old, huh?
No, Kon. The thing is this, I understand they want to rebel, but if there is an opportunity, because you put the bill, you can dictate what happens here, you know. But if you can, whatever you can impart on them now, at this age, at the very least, 30% they listen. Once they go about this age, trust me, forget it. They are their own mindset already, you know. So I think take this opportunity. My advice, take opportunity. Impart on him what you love for cars. Your love for cars, impart on him, you know. So he reflects. Even for 2 years, like he has the car, but when he's older, 30 odd years old, he reflect back. You know what? My father bought me a VW, and we had this experience. We go together for a drive, and went this for ABC, whatever. That is memories, you know. When I go for a drive, we do all drives, we try to impart that memory to the parents and the kids.
And something that we discovered, you know, during our time, right, is that your car is also actually a very good networking tool. So, you know,
absolutely,
buying your son, a car that has a bit of enthusiast following, right? You know, it gets him into car clubs. It gets him into conversations with people that he would not otherwise meet in the normal course of his life. Say, for example, you buy him an old Volkswagen, you will steer him on the course that will meet someone like Mike Yap, right? To teach, who is a good role model, and impart, you know.
If I see a 17-year-old driving, let's say, even a Polo or a Sirocco, whatever, I will see him say, hi, I'll see him, hey, how are you, man? Nice car, whatever. I'll talk to him, you know. So imagine the exposure these guys get, you know.
It's very true, you know, because what happened to Isaac, right? He, because of the Citroen, right? You know, he was just doing Instagram and all that. He was so happy to get the car, you know. And we went for the first drive with the car, you know, to Kuala Kuku Baru, KKB, with Thomas and all of them. And we took we waited at the wrong station. We went and waited at the Uluyam station because the night before they said go wait at the Uluyam station, but they went to the Tri station instead. So we were there, and there was this other car guys that was in that petrol station actually came and take photo of the Citroen. And actually came and talked to us, you know, and they said, wow, this car, long time we never see this car already, you know, and all that, you know, and took photo and started to talk with Isaac, you know. Yeah, and they were so happy to see the car, and you know, he got a new group of friends there. You know,
and
just like that.
And actually, Kim-Ing, if you've got the budget and the time, right, buy your son a car that needs some work done on it.
Some work, mechanically fine, but some work, like maybe maybe like, oh, it's a loose glove box or the gearbox, something
Yes.
simple so he feel engaged,
Yes.
The more hours they put in the car,
Correct.
the more he will look after everything,
Make it,
Or you buy
that
the
would,
car.
make it a project for him to
Correct.
to fix the car up.
Yes.
I mean, you can bankroll it, right? 17, 18 years old, maybe he still needs apart to bankroll it, but it is something for him to make
Have a
his
memory,
time more productive. Yeah.
Yeah. And a
Sorry
memory,
guys,
that you can share with him.
went long on this, but all three of us are Appa, so very passionate about.
Oh yes.
Definitely.
But I'm the right now at this point in time, I'm the furthest from reaching
youngest Appa.
Yeah,
stage
but
of life.
but the youngest Appa also got 2 E39 for the daughters really.
Okay. Question: what happens when we don't start our cars but keep the battery charged every week or two? How long can we keep the car not started? Okay. So I think I'll share one scientific fact which we not know. Okay. Car batteries can only go 5 cycles of zero battery voltage. So again, car batteries, any car battery, because there's a cycle, you see, because you get 100% charge, and then it goes to 80 whatever charge. So as you start the car, it picks power up and charge back up. So if you keep topping up, the car will be fine. So the question is this: if you go from 100% to 10% or like really low, you can only do 5 times. No matter how new the battery is, the battery will be thrown away. Which is why if your car's alternator fails, and you start, you crank whatever, even you put new alternator, the battery, if it's brand new, a month old, must be thrown away because it doesn't work anymore. Car batteries. So the question here is that if you don't start the car, but it charge every week or two, the question is, I would ask, what car is it? How old the car? Is there an amp draw? Is there a parasitic leak? Because some old cars, you don't use the car battery will run. Some cars, you got alarm running or so. So it takes into account what car it is. So you can't answer. I can't answer you directly, but it depends,
That's why when I park my cars at home, right, I don't lock them with alarm. Because the alarm drains the battery. I only use the alarm when I'm outside the house.
Wow, today I got the stuff over here. I happen to be on my table here. I bought this to put in my car. I haven't even opened this yet. I bought on Lazada.
What is that? You bought?
What is that?
Yeah, it's so funny. Happened to be on my table here. So this is a battery isolator you can buy. This is very cheap now. It's like 10 ringgit, whatever you can buy. Okay.
Yep.
So it turns off and on, So you can actually plug this to your battery, and then you just turn this one way, and the battery will just cut off. So it means the battery will not run. This is the best way you can put your car, and no voltage will run to your car at all. Zero battery. It's very cheap on Lazada. You can go and buy. It extends out from the battery, and there's an off and on push over here. It's called a battery isolator. Buy this. Very good. Cars don't use, get this. Best
But
way.
the only problem with that, when you turn it off, you got to reset your clocks and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I say like these are cars that you don't care about, old cars and that's what I know.
Yeah, and another thing, if you don't start your car for an extended period, the problem is, your mechanical things is not running.
Yeah.
So you have that danger, of all these parts getting rusty, jamming up.
Correct.
And
Your
then it
rubber's
doesn't run.
hardening.
Yeah, rubber's hardening. That's very important.
So
Like I haven't, like my Corrado, I haven't driven it for long distance for about 5 months. Only today I took it out. Yeah.
I started the MG in 6 months.
Oh, your MG, Oh gosh. And my Corrado, there was one point, I think I let it sit for about 2 weeks or so. Then I went and started off. The engine, have a tappety noise because the hydraulic tappets building up enough. So there was that that sound, but I let it run for about 15-20 minutes. When the engine warm up, you give it a few revs, then the pressure build up, it was fine.
I mean, the old cars, if you have an issue also, you can do is you can, if you never start for a long time, take out the relay for the fuel pump, start the car first, So the car will just move without any fuel in it, and then put back the relay, then start with the fuel in the car. Because at least you will let the car engine lubricate first before you have explosion the combustion.
And another thing a lot of people forget, even when you start the car, you don't go and turn on your aircon also. You should turn on your aircon, open your power windows, let everything run. Very important. Yeah. All right.
Because actually right, you should exercise all the motors and mechanisms of your car every once in a while. Because you leave them sitting there, right? All the rubber parts, the bearings, the lubrication that enable these things to move, they will crash one.
Yes.
Like my silver E39, right? When I bought it, the car was very underutilized for a good few years. And I tell you, the number of rubber parts that I changed in that car after I took possession of it, it was quite substantial. Whereas this blue one was, it's a bit worn out, but it was because it was used regularly, right? When I took possession of the car, right, I actually had lesser things to fix on this blue car.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, like I share my experience also. Even with my own cars, like the Corrado also.
Yeah.
If you don't drive for extended period, you have certain things that the car doesn't feel right, man.
That's why now I have a philosophy. If the car, if I don't cover at least 5,000 kilometers a year in that car, I will sell it.
Yeah. Another experience also, my 335, right? When I first got it, right? It was 55,000 kilometers, 9-year-old car.
Yeah.
So
very underutilized.
Very underutilized. So each time when I full throttle the car, right, the car jerks. Jerks. When it goes through the revs, certain points it jerks.
Yeah.
So I just made the decision. Okay, new coils, new plugs. Yeah. Everything new. Just change them in. Car was better, but the jerks was still there.
Is it still there now?
No. That cleared up only after about 3,000-4,000 of driving. Then it cleared itself up.
Yeah.
So it needed the Italian tune-up, but an extended Italian tune-up to get it running smoothly again. Yeah.
So cars have to use. You
must use.
Joseph Lu asked, will changing car tire size affect fuel consumption?
Absolutely.
Yep.
You change different tire type also will affect fuel consumption.
Yes, and the way the car drives and ride.
Yeah. Kay says the T30E feels way more powerful than it is. Not used to hybrid torque. Yeah, it's. I love it. I think the torque is so nice.
Yeah, he likes the hybrid cars, Thana.
I love it.
But you don't have one now, right?
I was actually asking Bobby about one yesterday. I was looking at a Panamera S hybrid. He said, then he's like, Thana, don't hybrid.
Thana was hybrid.
It was a good deal.
You know the Chinese have a proverb for you, right? It's called catching a worm and putting it into your backside.
I like hybrid. I mean, you can call it whatever you want. Hybrid is the way to go. You have the engine noise, yet you have the electric push. And
my philosophy is hybrid. You have to deal with the complexity of a combustion engine and electric motor, both technologies that were not built for each other, to interface it with each other in a seamless fashion.
But when it works, it's chemistry.
That's true.
When it doesn't,
when it works,
when it works, when it doesn't work, it's biology. You cry. Jeremy soon said, I recommend a reliable big car. My father let me drive an Accord when I first got my license. I can drive big cars, any cars confidently. Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah. It's true. Yes.
My first car was, as you know, Kon was your neighbor's car,
Yeah. Such a small world.
Small world.
Such a small world.
Gallon.
Oh, very big car. So and then it says what called this one about I think about the diesel new SN plus oil high resistance to evaporation reduced oil vapors to intake. Yep. I mean, I think oil evaporation and oil vapors, yeah, it will happen lah. It's still oil.
Yep.
It's not magic oil lah. Jalho says, saw you at KLGCC resort.
Yes. We were at KLGCC today.
Podcast. Yes.
Yeah.
Come to KLGCC more often. We'll be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. BMW. All about BMW. N54 engine. Does cleaning the piezo injectors work, please? Or do we need new index? I have no idea what you're talking about. What is this?
What is an index 12 injector in the first place?
Okay, because with the N54, the earlier versions, I cannot remember what were the versions lah, but the injectors to go to for the N54 engine is the revised Index 12 injectors lah, for those cars. I guess this one, KZ, it depends on your car lah, and whether the previous owner has actually changed the injectors. So unless you know the history, then you might want to clean them lah, but we don't really recommend cleaning them lah. Try some injector cleaners lah, because when you take out the injectors also, you got to put back to the same positions also, for the piezo injector, for these piezo injectors.
Hey, speaking of N54, Mike, your high pressure fuel pump you have to change already. Have you changed
so far I'm okay.
But is it still the original high pressure fuel pump or was it?
That I have no idea. But during my ownership, nothing lah. I got no injector issues, no high pressure pump issues, none of that lah. The only issue I had, which you guys knew with the car, was the starter motor. And the starter motor made by Nippon Denso. Japanese part.
Japanese part.
Of all the parts that fail is the Japanese one.
Yes.
Hey, by the way, on that note, your Audi they say compressor fail, right? Compressor from where Denso.
Denso also kan.
See? Denso. Japanese parts are stupid. Jory asked, can you do edit delete and tune up for Navara NP? Yeah, definitely can. Come over.
No problem.
You can go look up Mike Yap on Facebook, Daily Tuning, or
Thana.
Thana, and look us up. Definitely can.
Yes.
You'll be surprised, lah. I think that the diesels are fantastic.
And the Navara engine is fantastic.
Oh yeah, so much of it revs so happy.
Very powerful.
Yeah, but Mike, the Navara engine is already very highly tuned already. Can further tune some more.
Can. Yes,
but certainly not
very good engine, not very much.
The tuning potential isn't as high as Toyota or Isuzu, right?
Yes, let us check quickly.
Because I think they maxed out the. I think they are probably maybe 60 or 70%.
I think Kon is like this lah. So yes, the power may not be a lot on diesel cars. Even my car, the gain is not that much but the drivability and how it revs, it says better. Like for example, on mine is a 3-liter engine, and definitely that it's supposed to be powerful, But what I found was that I rev it as if it's a normal car, It's like it revs like a petrol car.
It doesn't feel so diesel. It doesn't feel so diesel-like.
Because I know if let's say if you were to tune a D-Max or a Hilux, you will be able to extract substantial gains because those engines are very, very under-tuned.
Yes.
But Nissan, I know for a fact, tunes their diesel, the truck engine very aggressively. And the other one, of course, is Ford.
Yeah. I mean, I'll show you. Yeah, I'll show you one here, for example. This is an older Nissan. Okay, it's this is for a Nissan Navara 205 215.
Okay, right. The previous gen one,
old one, 2.5 diesel.
Yeah.
You see, yes, the gain is 20%. Yes, it's the horsepower. 14% for torque, and you may think, it's in for diesel guy. he would love this. This is
Yeah.
fantastic.
No, actually,
because,
this is quite impressive gains, really.
yeah, for diesel
Yes.
This is
guy,
well within my
Yes.
expectation.
200 horsepower is a lot for diesel. You know,
Yeah.
460 is
A lot.
already.
A lot.
But where it comes
And-
to play is you see here corner the power curves. You want the
Ah.
torque at a lower RPM. The
Yes.
problem with diesel is like you need like if it's a smaller engine, you need to keep your rev up, have the torque when you go and stuck in mud, whatever, you know, and it feels heavier. You know? And that's
I remember driving the Navara, right? This Navara, the torque
Yep.
for a diesel engine, this Navara's torque comes in very late.
Yep. So
I
what
remember-
we do is we remove the limiters lah, you know, at the lower end, you know.
Yeah.
So the engine is a lot more responsive.
Because you see, with pickup trucks, right, you want the torque to come in at low RPM so that when you're scaling like a
Yes.
slippery slope,
Yep.
you can do it gently without having to use too many RPMs. But
Yes.
one of my experience off-roading with the Navara is that I was like, the torque was coming in at a higher rest. I was thinking, shit, I have to use so much RPMs to pull the car up, you know.
If you see this chart corner, the top two lines here, this is the top, you know, the top two.
Yes.
So you see here, normally a truck is only about 5,000 RPM, that's the max line.
All right.
So you see here how on the old tune it goes here, then it
Top
drops,
tuning.
you know. The torque is drops, you know. So on the standard tune, it just drops and drops, you know. But on this, you see it goes up and then it pretty much is constantly there. It's all throughout. Because at this point, it's already at 4,000 RPM already. You won't go on there already. So at the usable point of your RPM, the torque is there. And that's what's important.
Your 2 to 4,000 RPM.
That's the important thing. I agree. That's the important thing. You want
And
that stable supply of torque.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. I mean, one day you must drive my Everest once it comes out.
Oh, definitely.
It is. You'll be surprised how revvy it is. I know you did a review on my truck when it first came out. It's so different. It's so different. You know?
And like the Ranger 2.2 also, it makes a huge difference.
Oh my God, Kon, the Ranger 2.2, I drove and then I was like, how the hell do anybody drive the Ranger 2.2? For a truck,
yes.
For me, coming from a petrol car to a diesel, I expect power, you know. The 2.2 Ranger was so sleepy. Like how does anyone drive it? Because it's so bad. It is so bad. It just doesn't pull at all. But after tune was okay, but before tune was crazy, man.
But that engine also quite aggressively tuned, right?
No. I mean, I know that.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's not. They actually had quite a lot of gains, and it's quite noticeable, you know. But yeah, the 2.2 was so sleepy. I mean, like I can bear driving the 3-liter 2.5 is fine, but the 2.2 is just sleepy.
The 2.2 is a what lah? It's a Rotex special lah.
Really, yeah?
Yes.
But for me, I'm still a bit old school for that segment. For a pickup truck, right? I would still prefer at least 2.5 or 3 liters.
Yes.
I know we are moving away from that direction, like with Isuzu 1.9 and Ford with the 2.0 bi-turbo, right? But there's something nice about a large capacity diesel engine.
Yeah.
It's
because you can't argue against
the torque.
Yeah, and it's
the low end grunt.
It's
the low end grunt. Yes. Because the trucks are also heavy, you know, the trucks.
Correct.
And the tires are huge.
So Kon, this is on a 2.2. The 2.2 Ford Ranger, look at that. A lot of difference, Kon. 50% increment. Can you imagine that?
Yeah. This one is the early model.
Early model.
Because I don't remember the Ranger giving only 130 horsepower.
The revised 160 also there is improvement, but it comes there.
Yes.
So
you see the top improvement. The top improvement.
So if you have the older Ranger, especially you must do it. You know, there's just stuff there that you gotta get out. I was blown away. The Ranger was one of those things I mean, I can accept some trucks not to tune, but the Ranger is one you must.
In comparison, the Nissan is A lot
So
better.
I want to say a name, Brainless 179, but it's a cute name. It's called Black Death for Mercedes diesel engines. I didn't know about this. I'm supposed to look it up. Is it called Black Death? Maybe it's a
The
term.
2.1, the 2.1 engine, I think.
Is it?
Mercedes. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I'll look up what it's called, the Black Death. Something new I learned today.
yes.
We got the pre-owned Mazda 6 2.2 diesel 2018, worth getting at 138. How's the maintenance and reliability? I don't know about Mazda. It's a public line.
I just did a search on Muda for you. The only other Mazda 6 diesel that I can find is a 2016 car going at 128. So for an extra 10K, you're getting a 2-year newer car. Definitely worth it. How's the maintenance and reliability? I do not know of any major complaints of this car, but if you are coming from a BMW diesel, be prepared that the engine is not as punchy, it's not as fuel efficient, but it's a hell lot smoother. Mazda diesel is the most petrol-like in their behavior.
Yes.
So driving a Mazda 6 diesel, it feels like driving a large capacity petrol engine.
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't have the diesel clatter.
Yeah. And for the Mazda 6 diesel, get the one that's updated with GVC, because that makes a difference in the handling. See, the thing with diesel engines is that, right, the way the power is delivered and also the weight of this does not quite apply to the Mazda 6, but diesel engines have an inherent front heavy kind of feel because of the way the power is delivered. But Mazda, with the GVC system, they are able to somehow manage to alleviate that symptom. So when I drove the Mazda 6 diesel, with and without GVC, the first thing that I noticed, right, when I drive on Karak Highway was that the turn in was much sharper with GVC than without.
It's an amazing thing they put together.
It's software. By the way, it's purely software. GVC is purely software.
It's only how the car revs and just
no, it's the way they sort of like slightly retard the engine torque relative to your throttle inputs.
Correct. Yeah.
I'm
going to go for a quick commercial break, and then we're going to come back, and then we can already at 1.5 hour mark. We're going to end pretty soon, but yeah, let's go to a quick commercial break.
Yeah.
Welcome back, guys. Thank you for joining us for the 1.5 hour mark we have come to now. We're going to get back Kon into the show. Hi, Kon. Welcome back.
Yeah, grab a quick snack.
Sorry about that, Kon. Okay, we're going to take a little more questions, another 10 minutes, and we're going to call it end because we started late today. It's already 11, my God.
Yeah, man.
And let's get Mike back. Hi, Mike. Welcome back.
Hi.
Yeah, we didn't realize what to call. Time is now 11 o'clock.
Yes, 1.5 hours.
Okay, so we're gonna just quickly run through the comments a bit more faster now because we want to address all of you here that have joined us for the show. Yes, Lorry Workshop can search injectors. Yes, you're right. This is where I went, and it's 150 ringgit per injector to service them, and then. BMW said gearbox doesn't change to change oil. What's your view?
JJ Dennis got it spot on for me.
Exactly. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I just changed my
Malaysia climate and usage conditions. No way, lah. Absolutely no way.
No way. Yes.
No way.
I just changed my DCT gearbox oil also.
No way.
Fibris Go says, nice name, man. Fibris Go. I think that cost and diesel car is still acceptable. My 5-year-old Lexus ES cost me 14K to change steering rack, steering column, and steering. I thought steering axles all very reliable.
Are you actually?
Wow.
Are you sure you bought a Lexus? HP Tan, are you watching this? HP Tan.
Apple.
Andrew Tho said, is it good idea to get
Yes.
a Z4? Yes.
Yes.
Z4 is a yes. I had a
Yes.
question. One guy asked me on my YouTube page. He said, I want to get a 50K. I want to buy a Mark 1 TT or 208 or to get a 2011 Sirocco. I said, if you can buy cash, buy a Z4 lah. Why not buy a TT? You know?
Yes.
TTs.
Agree with
Actually,
you.
this E85 Z4, right? Bobby has always been saying this, and I agree with him. This car now is the best time to buy one of these. Now it's still in the 50,000-60,000 ringgit price bracket, right?
Yep.
It's a good bet. It will swing up. All right. I mean, if I have the cash to spare, I probably would get one or so. I'm not much of a convertible guy like much of you guys, but this Z4 is I'm pretty sure it's a good investment, and I'm pretty sure 70-80% of my knowledge with these two cars here will apply with on the Z4.
Yep.
Mugilan says F30 design is timeless. Yes, I agree. I think it's one of the best looking 3 in my opinion. Even the E30.
Oh yeah, definitely, no question.
To me, the F30 is the best design of the lot.
No question. No
The
question.
only problem is it's too common. That's the only problem because it's so good, it's so common. But other than that, it's
Yes,
one
and
of
the
and it's
design is
crazy
very nice.
that you can buy one now at the Vios budget.
Yes.
I
You
saw
can
one
buy
for
one
70,
now with the budget of a
for
Vios.
78K. I saw one.
Yeah.
What's spec?
78K N20 engine.
320 lah.
320 lah, yeah, right. Yeah.
Confirm 320 lah.
And,
But
and if
okay,
you buy 318, it's a bit cheaper. You know? And then any way to make drivers use signal indicators, post head down.
that one
I mean-
is what lah.
Yeah.
But I know Kon very good one. That one.
Yeah. On the parent question, buy Z4, put it under your name. You can also use the price won't depreciate. True. True. And then you've got manual Myvi handling so bad he'll become a better driver because the car will try to kill him in every corner.
Not really.
You know,
lah.
I've never driven a manual Myvi in my life.
Not worth it.
We have had Myvis for now 15 years now. This is a 15th year of Myvi ownership. The same Myvi. You know, we've gone through one gearbox and
Auto, right? Yours.
auto. Yeah.
But for me, the
Because-
Myvi is not a car that I would buy with a manual transmission, simply because the
Yeah.
Pro Duo Myvi, right, is like it's so rubbery. The gear shift is like so springy lah and all that. It's so
has
touch
to.
shop to bawa one. You might as well enjoy the fact that this car is just your runabout. A car that gets you from point A to point B. Get it as an auto. Use it as a transport. That's it. End of story.
A good manual must click in place. That's a good manual.
Proton makes good manuals.
Exactly right.
Proton manuals are good.
Yes. Agree with that.
Okay, Benzo, new car oil on the E63 Edition 1. This or the new launch?
I prefer the pre-facelift W213 lah, to be honest. But honestly, the E63 is a car that really puts you on the edge of your seats. It's edge of the pants kind of excitement. I know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's insane the way that car accelerates. It makes the M5 in comparison really feels tame in comparison to the M5.
Okay, so let's take a question on Mike. Can you tune B48 F30? Definitely can.
Yeah.
I'll just show you the tunes here. Fantastic gain, like guys. You're talking about 250 horsepower.
Yes.
Look at the torque. Crazy man.
The top is crazy.
440 horsepower torque after tuning. It's
Yes.
mad, mental. And then you look at the curve. My God,
This
the
is
power,
just 320i, you know.
and
Yes.
this is wait,
Yes.
Kon. This is stage 1, Kon.
Yes. You look at the jumper.
Wow.
Oh my
Wow, the
God.
engine is
in the top.
really over-engineered, way.
Really over engineered.
How much gains do you get from the 30i?
A bit.
The 30i not so much.
Not so much lah, because it's the same
Yes.
kind of platform, but some
Yes.
internal difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, fantastic. Buy it. If you have one, please come
Brilliant.
over and see Mike.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant engine. You know,
You-
with the
you'll be
transmission
sh-
tune in.
you'll-
Wow.
You're kicking
Really?
everybody's ass on the road. It's such a great car.
Yeah, and
Wow.
the throttle response on the car is crazy lah. You know, it's just a brilliant car lah.
Proton CFE. Okay, the tune? Got tune, Proton.
No, sorry, we don't have a tune for that. Unfortunately, sorry.
Okay. So, car repair question. V6 Purana. Weird issue with throttle the car at about 70 above the RPM meter, bounces and will jerks continuously at the speed. So I guess the thought is, okay, at 70 km per hour, the RPM bounces. Okay, the RPM bouncing, that's a separate issue. That's an issue with what I call the sensor of the reading. That's a different issue. But what you must understand is the 70 km linked with the jerks lah. Okay, so I would say check things like your wheels, check your things like what I call your alignments. You know, those the basic one first. Then you work your way through, because it's definitely something to do with the motion issue lah.
Yeah.
But it could be your ignition issue also. Could be an ignition issue.
Sounds like ignition to me.
Could be an ignition issue. Spark
Coil
plugs,
packs.
coil
Ignition
packs.
packs.
But I guess if the coil issue, if it's at a certain RPM, I guess you must link what is RPM linked, what is the speed linked.
Yeah.
If let's say you're cruising down with no acceleration and still it jerks, then it's a mechanical thing. If it's doing, because when it's a throttle issue, then you know it's
But this one, the RPM meter bounces with the jerk, so I think it most probably engine related.
Okay. Navara D40, yes, definitely can. Kenneth, please come and check out. 2010, bro, still not have sold yet. I feel bad. I'm supposed to go and review the Sirocco R, because with MCU I didn't do it. I definitely must come and do let's do a
What's the
review.
going rate for one of these?
Jonathan, can you please comment? There's very few in the market, like
Actually, he can set the price, right? Basically.
Yeah. It's his car is fantastic, like tune and all that stuff. It's a fantastic car. Guys, you want Sirocco R? Very nice blue. Hit up Jonathan and you get one. You know, KY, fantastic knowledge and spirit here. Thanks for this million. Okay, thanks so much. Always happy to help. Coming to the end of our show again. Kin Hua Yang, thinking of getting a used Ranger Raptor. Good idea or bad idea? My concern on the Fox shock absorbers. Will it be expensive to replace?
Kin Hua, you have to think of it this way. Firstly, everybody know maintaining Ford is not cheap. That's one. Second thing, Raptor, okay, Ranger Raptor, right? You think of it as the M3 of the Ford Ranger. So of course, now I reviewed the Ranger Raptor before, and I tell you that truck, right? You look at how tall that bugger is, right? You will not believe how well it drives on Karak Highway. I've driven sports cars that give me less confidence on Karak Highway than the Ranger Raptor. Let's put it that way.
It's fantastic. It's like a car.
Yeah, but here's the thing. By instinct, by sheer laws of physics, the height and the weight of the Ranger Raptor is not conducive for such exuberant driving, but it can handle it. So somewhere along the line is some top level equipment, and there's a price to pay for that capability. Right? It's like every time I go on the highway, I lunge on my S-Max, right? 7-seater MPV. I take sapu corners like a GTR. I know down the line, right? when it's time to service the suspension or the brakes, right, I'm fucked already.
My take is this. Kon Wai Luen, Ranger Raptor, to me, it's a fantastic platform. The Ranger Raptor is not only just a shocks. There's more to it. I think the protective parts of the car, it's a different car altogether. There are a lot of things that go around the Raptor, which is not only the suspension bits. So if you're going off-road, yes, it's fantastic. The way it drives, the way it handles, the shocks can always go aftermarket if you want to also. It's still doable. So if you buy the Raptor for that, I think it's fine. The shock absorbers, it's a wear item. And normally with trucks, they last a very long time. I mean, I think the failure on shocks for trucks is very rare. Very, very rare. If someone has a Raptor, I can bet you most owners of Raptors don't take the truck off-road because it's such an expensive truck. They normally use it on the tarmac. When they go off-road, they take their Ford Ranger and they go off-road. Raptor they keep at home, So that's the good thing about Raptor because it's such a high-end model.
Yeah. It's totally different from anything out there in the market.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Cost for tuning, contact Mike directly and you'll know. And then Jeremy says, "Hey guys, have you guys experienced the E38 before? The idea of having one has been toying in my head. 728i is economical, but I adore the long wheelbase that comes with a 740, 735i, but very rare. Why lah?"
No experience, but the general consensus is that the 728 is the most reliable one because it's the only straight six. Everything else is V8, and the 735 is a weird 3.5 liter V8 that is only. Actually, there's also a 730i V8 also.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for the E38. But most people, they would go for the 728 because of the road tax and because it is known that the 6-cylinder is more reliable compared to the V8. BMW is not particularly good.
And also, I think the sound is better, isn't it?
What?
The sound of the straight is better.
V8 sounds nicer one. But BMW is just not very good at making V8s. BMW, I think, has only
one engine,
one great V8.
There's only one engine that they made as a good engine. Everything else it won't start, it won't run, vacuum leak, issue. Got 101 products V8 in BMW.
And everything is double now in the V8 also.
Two
sensors, everything.
Two ECU, everything is double.
Skip the 3 liter and 3.5 one, skip them totally lah.
Yeah, because you have the complexity of the V8
yes
without the performance gains. Like the 735, right? The 35i engine, right? Is only very minor gains from the 3 liter straight six, the M54 3.0 straight six. So you are paying, you are dealing with double the valve train complexity. You are paying double the road tax for insignificant performance advantage.
Definitely, yeah.
Jangan. Anda telah dilarang. Question on tuning again. Stage 2, Vento, part 2, necessary to perform a clutch kit upgrade. It's optional.
No, not necessary lah on the Vento.
Yeah. I mean, you can hook up with Mike and learn more about tuning potentials,
Yeah, because the 1.4 and 1.8 also uses the same transmission. So no worries with the 1.2.
What's the mileage interval change for axle oil?
Wow.
The rear axle, you saying? Also, same time lah with your transmission fluids.
Yeah. Because
60,000. Yeah.
You running it. Yeah. Same thing.
And if you are an aggressive driver, do it at 30,000. Transmission and the rear axle oil as well. I do mine at every 30,000.
Lieutenant Gan says, I got a 2.5 TD5 and lower discovery. Think you're doing it. Any sessions? Yeah, bring it over.
Dude. Bring it over. See? No problem. Yeah.
Gary Lee says, I want to grow up, become like you guys. I don't know. Maybe I'll become like you.
Gary Lee,
I see you cycling.
Man.
I see you
Gary
cycling.
Lee is an old time, man.
Yes.
We want to be like him.
All right. Only relax, go cycling.
Mm.
Okay. Mark asked where I cut my hair. Place in Panay Indah. You all say Panay Indah Ulu, right? My barber is a fantastic story. She is a hairstylist which quit her job because of work-life balance, and she opened a barber shop. She opened like an Indian style barber shop, and she's Chinese. So she's like a female operating in a male dominated
That is one Malaysia for you.
Yep.
Exactly. FS says don't forget E90 rear diff fluid.
Oh, this is new to me.
Uses ball bearings instead of tapered roller bearings, which doesn't run as tapered roller. Remember this? Okay. Kashvin says please reply. What is it about again, Kashvin?
Kashmir, can you please retype your comment? Then we will address it.
Okay, I got to go back up look again. And then if Fiat Punto 188 MK2 still work keeping a daily car? It's a crispy question.
Fiat Punto 188. Wow.
I mean,
it's worth keeping for the rarity.
Rarity.
Yep.
Mark Francis, tomorrow we are actually going and seeing this 216 32i, thinking of getting one warranty expiring, and 232 if liable and cheap to maintain, or the price maybe 318 with free warranty with 223 no headache.
I had a conversation with Mark today. He's coming from a Focus TDCi, so performance-wise, the 318 is a downgrade.
Definitely a downgrade. Go for the 2016 B48 engine 320i.
Yeah. I told him also like if you can go for that, like the wife doesn't drive fine anyway. So Grand Cabrio story. It wasn't 400k lah. It was 480k. So it's out of my budget. I can't, because it's a cabriolet. That means you gotta put down 30% down payment, which means 144k down payment to buy that car. But I'm not letting go of the whole Mercedes story. I'm looking at now the Gran Turismo instead, because Gran Turismo is not convertible.
Yeah.
I think I can get higher loan for the car still, So stay tuned. There might be another there might be a V8 in the line coming out soon,
Right, man.
And then,
So from Grab Cabrio become Grab Turismo.
still a V8, 4.7.
Yeah. No, I mean from the Gran Turismo that's going for what, 280,
250, 30 that.
right? 200k just to chop the roof off. No lah. For the chop the roof off and still the same engine.
I somehow feel that the
Turismo.
The Grand Cabrio doesn't look as good as the Turismo. Some cars look good in a Cabrio.
That's how I feel.
The Cabrio again doesn't look as good as the Turismo. I know it's cheaper, but it has that whole garang look,
Turismo go for the
Turismo. To add on, Max Garage Owner Service, Fiat. He has got a French car. I think Fiat.
Which Fiat is Fiat? Fiat can go back to 50 years old Fiat.
Yeah. So JJ Davis says, talking about car repairs, could you take us through your Boxster experience? So my Boxster experience, basically, I learned the hard way, and I want to share with you, So I bought a Boxster. I sent to a mechanic, which didn't have the tools to install the timing chain correctly, but it tried, and basically the engine blew up. And then basically I became responsible. I can't go blame the mechanic, right? So, and then I have to take the responsibility. I bought, and then I have to find for a half cut. And finding a half cut for the old car is not easy. It took me a year and a half to find the half cut. And then now it's done and dusted. Now I'm going to all the small stuff, converting it to a auto to a manual, the reverse slide, this week is the aircon is still there, doesn't work. And my guy is an old school mechanic for Porsche, which means he does all the air-cooled stuff. He doesn't do the newer stuff. So this is an ECU thing. His ECU guy isn't available because of dengue or malaria, I think. So, so I'm going to send to another Porsche guy for more of the wiring stuff. Other the car is fine, So the experience I learned is that you just have to go to a place where people have done it before, and you must get proof they can do it. They say they do it, but it was go to a place that they have done it before. Like in my Audi A6 like, I go to a mechanic and buy. He's done few of those like. When they got experience of those, then they can actually avoid mistakes, and mistakes will be costly.
Yes.
And that's where I think I got my mechanic for my V. I got my mechanic for my Almira. I go to SC. Ford, and for Ford I got a Ford mechanic, because so every car has got own mechanic, because they are experts in that particular car, because they've got experience in that particular model. They've seen enough, like, So yeah, I think my what I learned is that stick to a mechanic which you know of, and be loyal. A lot of people actually go to mechanic, or today they say, "Hey, Mike got offer for servicing." I say, "Okay, give you offer now." They go to off Mike. Next day, hey, servicing, go there. Pula. Don't do that. It's like cheating on your wife, You go to a mechanic. As long as they're good, stick to them, because why? They're servicing and they earn very little. But if you go for them for this regular stuff, that actually pays them to keep the light open. They make money.
My opinion is it's good to have 3 or 4 mechanics at hand. All right. Because like my regular BMW mechanic, his workshop is always packed one.
Yep.
So my go-to filler is always packed, but which is why for me I must have a backup.
Yes.
In case his workshop is full, then I can take my car elsewhere if I need to. All right, but the important thing is, right, even if all your mechanics at your hand, like you must have your own panel workshop, personal panel workshop, and you must build a good relationship with these guys. All right, you can assess their honesty, their trustworthiness, and then you and then when you send your car to them, for me, when I send my car to them, I let them earn. All right.
Yes.
Parts, I leave it for them to source. It's only if they come in. Sometimes my regular mechanic will tell me, "Hey, I'm a bit busy." Okay, fine. What are the parts you need? I go and buy. I will only go and buy parts myself if he is too busy to source for me. Because then at least you give him a few channels to earn, right? Then he helps him pay the rent and pay the staff, like the very
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, don't kill them, lah.
Yeah.
You must let them make money, lah. It's how they they make a living, and people forget that, like, they also go for cheapest, and they want pressure. Jangan. Mark says test drove. I mean, I think compared to
Mark, you must think back. You come from what car?
No. He's comparing to the A6 hybrid drivetrain.
Even then, also is
cannot.
A6 hybrid to 320. Big difference there.
Big difference. The power.
Even stock to stock also is different.
Yeah. Okay. Are we able to tune W211 E280?
That's the 2. That's the 3 liter.
3 liter, yes, no problem. 2.5, 3 liter, we have done it. 3.5, we have done it all. Yeah, 272, no problem.
So we're coming to I'm trying to end the Mike, based on your experience of N55 engines, what's the best gain after tuning so far you achieve, be it stage 1 or stage 2?
Oh, this one we will be looking about 360 to 380 depending the bots that you have on the car. Stage 1 you're looking at about 360 on RON 97. Then about 370, 380 on the stage 2. So those are the figures that you'll be looking at.
Direct question is tuning for old JDM cars. We know what Derek drives. I think don't lah. Focus on air intake.
I think you can do. Yes, stuff like that.
You can come and talk to Mike here. I guess you can focus on things that are not too much of like ECU or like injector or that kind of stuff, but like more like performance line. I think like lighter wheels on your car would play a lot of big part. You go for rims, lighter rims. You go for better air intake. Yes, exhaust maybe. Those breathing things will help the car to be faster. Not necessarily easy to know. Okay. We're gonna end in about 5 minutes, guys. Quick. Okay. Kon, any idea when the W223 S-Class launching in Malaysia?
I would say next year at the earliest. Because the whole pandemic thing has ruined the schedule, everybody's schedule. the global chip shortage is not helping things either. So a lot of delays. Yeah.
Joseph Siu buying a used Bentley, 100K now. Voila.
Wow.
You still have to deal with 6-liter road tax or 4-liter road tax. And I know for a fact that Bentley aren't exactly cheap to maintain.
Yeah.
Yes. And there's Bentley tax on the parts also.
Yeah. I wouldn't worry about
that
that.
being said, right, of all the luxury brands, the Rolls Royce, the Astons, right, for me, Bentley appeals to me the most.
Really?
Why, Kon?
I don't know. It's the way they package the performance, the handling in a very understated appearance.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm ultra rich, right, a Bentley is a car I would consider.
I mean, the way they build the interior and all that, it's just brilliant.
Yeah. And if you're coming from a golf ride, it's easy to adapt.
Thank you. I mean,
E34,
Audi even more so.
E34 520 worth buying from the BMW age.
They are on the way up. E34s are appreciating now.
I think there are lesser E34 in good condition. If you find an E34 in good condition, buy it. Because I think it's easier to find an E39 in good condition. Easier to find
E39 now is E30. E39 now is rock bottom.
Yeah, I mean, there's some cars easy to find. E34, it's very hard to find in good condition. Like,
I tell you,
very tough.
I tell you, right, E28s are asking for 55,000 ringgit.
Crazy.
Wow.
It's crazy. 20,000 ringgit buys you a car that requires another 20,000 to fix.
Falcon, can you tune? Yeah, definitely. He loves all his cars. Comments on the manual Ranger 2.5 with pre TDCI engines. They're a bit more clattery, they're a bit more noisier, but I guess it's about maintenance, like who drove the car,
Yep.
And then if you're talking about the super old ones that close to, they were just tanks, correct? They're loud, they're loud,
yes.
They are tanks, but
clattery, you put your foot down on the throttle, the car just clattering along.
Okay. I can't believe this. Ben, please put the barber contact.
That's something new.
Okay, I will go and help her out. She's actually I mean, support local community. It's called Jen Barber. You can go look up Jen Barber on Facebook, and then you can look her up. Nice lady, and then she just does a good job, and then Punto Nuva. What's a Punto Nuva?
Kenneth still knows his Fiats and Alphas.
Oh,
so
Nova
if says they are reliable, they are reliable.
What's a Nova? It's a
Gen 2, is it, Kenneth?
Is it?
Gen 2.
New.
Gen 2 Punto, is it?
Yeah.
But then again, Kenneth also runs a workshop, right? I think. But Kenneth is he knows his stuff around Italian car that much, I know.
Yeah. He knows his Alphas, his Fiats. That's for sure.
Yeah. And then S-Max.
Good. Bye.
So I assume, Kevin, you said this, and you said V, and then you said here, bro, please respond. I am waiting. So answer is, if it's linked to that S-Max, say bye. I think it's a fantastic deal. I never seen people so enthusiastic about S-Max.
But to take your question seriously, S-Max, if you're talking about first gen S-Max, very cheap now, 25, 30K you can buy, but steering rack, turbo, DCT. These are 3 items that in my S-Max group, every week sure got somebody one will fail one. Okay, so budget to fix these, and you are probably looking at a net spend of about 45 to 50K. It's still cheaper than buying a Myvi. And you get 7 seats and 240 horsepower.
And actually, the engine is quite reliable.
Yeah. Yeah.
The engine itself is quite reliable, if you
Yeah.
ask me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm, mm.
Mm.
I
Okay.
think actually more reliable than BMW and VW engine.
Okay. We're going to
The
take
engine
last two
itself.
questions. We're going to take last two questions. Question number one is on shocks. How do you check if shocks are still in condition? Any shock can to check the shocks. I guess over to you, Mike. How do you check for shocks?
Actually, shocks is difficult to check, because the shock, the performance drops gradually. It
Yeah.
wouldn't just fall off.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes, unless it leaks, So a lot of times, the mechanic will just tell you,
Mm,
oh, your shock absorber leaking, must change.
mm,
And usually when it's not leaking, then you say no need to change. But
Yeah.
I think as a rule of thumb, once you have reached 40, 50,000 kilometers, give your shocks a good check, because the shocks is actually complements your springs, And if your
Correct.
shocks are not working properly, your contact with the road, after a bump, your car can be bouncing up and down. You can
Correct.
lose traction. You
Correct.
can lose traction.
Correct.
So it's about safety as well. Your braking distance will be longer, and when you go corners, your car can lose traction much easier. Comparing to a car that has good shocks. So as a rule of thumb, once you reach anything 50 to 70 Ks, it's about there or thereabouts lah. Your shocks. So it depends from car to car.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the last question of the day we're going to answer is on OEM parts. Will you choose original or OEM parts? Put them on the side.
And he followed that up with this one.
Let me rephrase. If you say you've been using OEM parts for a long time and you rely on them so much, why would you go back to original parts for once? If not, why put the price down?
This is interesting, right?
I guess before that, let's just quantify this.
Yes.
What is OEM? I think you must define what is OEM first. OEM is supposed to be a original equipment manufacturer. That means that, let's say ST, for example, makes shocks for certain or KY makes shocks for certain cars, KYB, and these are OEM because they make for the manufacturer. They also make and sell for their own. That's OEM.
Yes.
But what we use as OEM in Malaysia is a different term, isn't it? We say OEM means it's like, okay, same as original, but it's not, isn't it? Right?
Yeah, but OEM also, there are many grades.
Correct.
Many grades of OEM. Yeah.
So,
and
yeah,
I think even in the Evo group, we were talking about people buying brake things. I mean, brake discs, brake pads, from Shopee and all that. So even if you go buy from Shopee also, you got to make sure you are actually buying from the importer from Shopee. So don't go and buy your suspension parts and your brake pads from Shopee without knowing who the seller is. Very, very important.
Wear and tear parts don't. Yes. Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about cosmetic parts, right? Fine.
No issue.
Fine, because those are not critical items. But wear and tear parts, engine, chassis, drivetrain, don't skim on those.
Yeah.
Always go for the best parts that you can afford.
Yep. And OEM parts, from there's actually only 2 or 3 big manufacturers in the world, and you got to make sure that it actually comes from the manufacturers itself, because there are many fake parts out there in the marketplace. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Correct.
We're gonna take last question. Sorry, Kashmir, we didn't see your question coming through because a lot of coming through. Sorry about that. So my father has a car gearbox issue. Honda CRV 208, 5 automatic gearbox. We're going to check before I replace 5-speed. I guess the thing is with a gearbox, you have to drive the car and to see is it jerking or is it slippage. And the moment there is such thing happen to your car, you know what? Nothing much you can do with it. You have to go and basically.
And the thing is that gearbox faults can be caused by a lot of things. The automatic transmission is a very a mechanically complex device.
Especially like
your
yeah,
it could be your
and-
valve body, it could be your pressure regulator, it could be your planetary gear set, your torque converter. So with a car like the CRV, all you can do is, if you want to do it yourself, buy the diagnostic tool, plug it in, get the OBD reading, read the fault code out, and
Yeah.
that allows you to narrow down your
most likely, I would say, even if you plug it in and you check, if there's an error in the gearbox, it will show up in your dashboard already by now. So if your car got no error codes and the car's driving and the car is jerking or gearbox issue, you know what? You have not much choice but to get rebuilt. My advice for this one, this is a hack. Okay, this is a Kashmir. Listen carefully here. You want to save money on this. What you do is, you go to gearbox rebuilder shops. Okay, I tell you why. Instead of going to mechanic, you go to mechanic shop. Normally, they'll charge you to remove. They charge you to take out the oil, put new oil and stuff, and they will send the gearbox to a gearbox rebuilder shop. Okay, but if you drive the car if a car can drive and you go to a gearbox rebuilder shop, they won't charge you for removing, for putting back in. They will just charge you for the
rebuild job.
The rebuild job, and the oil is inclusive of the price itself because they must test that thing itself. So for my for example, the place is actually near Ampang. The costing was, I could pay a mechanic like 1,000 ringgit, in labor to take out and put back and all that stuff. Plus the engine, the gearbox rebuild cost about 2,000 plus, about 5K. But I went to the shop directly, to the gearbox shop itself, and it cost me 1,002. That's it. So a lot of difference, So it's a hack. But if you go online and look up what they call gearbox rebuild shop, whatever, I tell them, can I bring my car there? They're more than happy to bring your car there and they do it for you. And if for popular models, they actually have a gearbox on standby. You can go there, they give you a gearbox, slap it in, and they can generate on the spot. Because they actually have in stock to replace, So it may not be as cheap as a Myvi, obviously, but it's considerably cheaper. And I would recommend doing a gearbox rebuild opposed to getting a used gearbox from Potong Keta. Because you never know the condition of the gearbox. Back to square again. The engine rebuild guys take out the gears and they check and they make sure it's coming to a particular level of tolerance, and it's kind of it's good for another 5 years, no issue,
The replacing with a half-cut gearbox, right? You are basically kicking the can further down the road.
Yeah. So again, go to a gearbox rebuild shop. There are few around there, and it's the cheapest way to go, and it's secure. Okay. So I hope it answers the question. I'm sorry if you're young and there's a lot of comments there. No problem, bro. We're all here to help. Stay with us. Tomorrow we are with Thomas, and I'm actually coming aboard again.
You're a busy man, Thana.
My wife doesn't know yet.
You are on a roll. You are on a roll.
So tomorrow we are with Thomas. We're talking about cars that are built and not bought. It's going to be an interesting one tomorrow. Built, not bought, and then obviously on Sunday we have Mike Yap. Again, we have on tunings and stuff we're having there. Monday we are back with obviously Kon, Bobby, and joining them also on a talk. And again, we will do the whole cycle call up again. Please join us for all our content providers. We've got, obviously, you can follow Mike Yap on the YouTube channel. You can follow Kon, myself, Bobby, Rachel, Apple, Grab, Cabrio. If I happen to buy one, I'll just need to put a B there instead of an N. Thank you so much. Kon, any last words?
No. Just take care as always. We are economy is opening up, so everybody just remember to stay safe, take all necessary precautions, and stay alive. Don't die.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.
Bye. Take care, guys.
Bye.